This is Business Therapy, healing businesses from the inside out through communication and emotional intelligence. I'm Diane Hansen, management consultant, and co-host Christine Salvo, therapist, certified mediator, and certified hypnotherapist.
Good morning. Hello, everyone.
Good morning, everybody. So today we are talking about alignment, misalignment, and blending, how to blend your life to create the best alignment and the best flow possible. I am just wondering, those listening out there right now, how many of you have to take on new ways of being right now?
I think that would almost be a pretty high
Everybody,
majority.
right? Right, exactly. What's happened as a result of sheltering in place is we really have had to come into ourselves maybe a little bit more than we're used to. I know for me, I used to basically Monday through Friday was the hard drive time, and then my weekends I just let go and had fun and forgot all about Monday through Friday until it came time for Monday again. And now I don't necessarily have that safety blanket.
Yeah, there really is no differentiation, at least in my life, even during the day. When am I done with work? When is it the weekend? I don't know what day it is right now. If I didn't write it down, I'd really be in big trouble here if I didn't have some kind of schedule planned. So yeah, there isn't really that working for the weekend right now.
Exactly. And I think what that is giving us, and this is a big gift that it's giving us, is that it's showing us what is in alignment with who we be and what we want to be and what sets our soul on fire and what really kind of feels misaligned
Mhm.
this is something that I'm doing that I might be in alignment with. So it's affecting me and I can't wait to get away from it type attitude. And I think that's more evident now that we can't necessarily jump on a plane and go to Hawaii to take a vacation to get away from it all. And we're coming in, closer into what makes our soul sing.
Yeah, I can totally agree with that. I had a holiday just past this weekend that I usually spend with family. And I know as busy as I can get, something that really hit me was maybe I haven't really been in alignment to how important my family is because my life gets really busy. And I live a really busy, exciting, fun, diverse life. But I really deeply missed my family this weekend. And it really hit me hard. And yeah, I cried. It was everyone, we all called each other on the phone and tried to make the best of it. But that was definitely a big moment for me of alignment of how am I going to prioritize my time and who am I going to see when this is done? Because my activity list will be plentiful and there will be 101 things I want to do. And I'm going to have cabin fever just like everyone else and want to have the FOMO, yes, 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 yes. But what I really felt in my heart was missing my family very deeply.
Yeah, and it's interesting how those things get so much more clear when the running is not an option. I remember having a talk once with my minister, and she said you could probably use some work on being a human being versus a human doing. And I took personal affront to that statement because what are you talking about? Of course, I'm a human being. And she's like, no, how often do you just slow down? How often do you not have your calendar booked to the hilt so you can't think? And how often are you running from place to place to place to place? And maybe you're just saying yes to keep busy. And I thought about that, and I've been thinking about that and how I'm showing up right now in this time of social distancing, and it's different. I think that everything that I could be running to has gotten agile and it shifted online. So if I were in that same space, I could absolutely go from Zoom meeting to Zoom meeting to Zoom meeting to Zoom meeting. It's entirely possible right now, but I feel that what I am choosing to do is the stuff that really speaks to my essence. It's the women's groups, it's spirituality, it's those things and those rituals for me that are helping me gain peace.
Yeah.
And then in my work, the same situation is arising where I'm really looking at my work and saying, okay, I could do it all, I have the hours to do it all, but do I really want to do it all? Am I, and this was a big realization, because I'm even more clear now that when I start to procrastinate, that is a sign to me that I am not in alignment with what I'm procrastinating on. So,
That's a really great
yeah.
point. So when you start getting into avoidance of any kind,
Yeah.
that's such a great indicator of, is my heart in this? Is this a task? What's the deal with the task? And then how much more of this task do I really want to do?
If I'm not missing it, if I'm not leaning into it right now, if I'm not looking forward to it right now, it it feels even more wrong. I think I could have avoided it before the shelter in place, because it was just what it is. And even, as early as 2 weeks ago, I was kind of trying to dismiss it, going, well, I'm obviously a pleasure seeker and a little brat, and I want to just be happy go lucky having fun all the time. But quite frankly, what's wrong with that? What's
Well,
wrong with that?
there's different philosophies on that. And if we go from a clinical perspective, it's about harmony. I don't even like the word balance anymore because I feel like that people can use that against themselves and do self-judgment. And of course, that can spiral out of control. But harmony. I just want to feel harmony. Sometimes I'm all about the pleasure, and sometimes I'm all about pulling back. And that's before COVID, and that's in my personal life. There's times I will be busy for 6 weeks straight, and then there's a weekend I won't even look at my phone. And I'll go, I'm not getting out of my pajamas, and I'm watching whatever I'm binging on. And everyone, can fly a kite this weekend because I need that restorative time. And so in our busy regular lives, we have different ways of finding harmony. And now I think we're having to adjust again to find harmony in this. And it is a fast paced world, and it is an entertaining world. And so many businesses are reliant upon that we're going to want to be out every weekend and we're going to want new experiences. And, axe throwing was a trend. I still never got to do it, and I'm kind of bummed about it. But, people are innovating and they're finding new ways to entertain because that's really kind of what we like. We work hard to play hard. But now I think there's really an opposite. And like you said, trying to find what that looks like now. I took yesterday off, which sounds silly. I'm in shelter in place and I'm home all the time. Why the heck wouldn't I work? And I'd say for the first couple weeks of pandemic, I thought that way. I'm home anyway. And then it actually hit me last week where I'm like, no, I want an extra day off because I just need a little bit more. I need even more restorative time just being at home, which might sound a little silly, but it takes a lot of effort to not be entertained. It takes a lot of effort to go slow. It takes a lot of effort um, to just kind of be where you are and letting that be okay and not pushing even when, yeah, we might have the hours of the day or we're not driving in our cars or commuting or staying busy. But that doesn't necessarily mean that our bodies and brains can keep up with that even still.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. It's such a new norm. It's such a new norm for many of us, where it's it's not usual to wake up in the morning and not have a commute. I mean, even in the show, in the listening patterns in the show, we would have people driving to work, and maybe if they're in the essential employee bracket, they are still doing that. But then there are some who they have to work from home or their jobs have been eliminated. And so even their pattern of what media they intentionally consume has changed.
Right.
And it's no longer about, well, I'm in the car, therefore I'm going to listen to this show, or I'm present here at this restaurant and they happen to have their TV on.
Right.
So we have to be even more intentional now in how we consume our media and how we interact with people and those we choose to interact with, and how we adapt and when we can't interact. I mean, it's hard not to be able to interact with family. It's it's especially tough for me right now, thinking that with Sisalak's announcement today that we are in phase zero, and how long it might take for me to feel comfortable getting on an airplane and going to Texas to see my mom, who will be turning 85 this year.
Right.
And, turning 85 in just, just a little over 3 months. And the fact that last year I had gone out there for her birthday, so I didn't go again for Thanksgiving, and now kind of feeling the behind that. It is different, and it the time in that kind of repose, it really teaches you what is important,
Yeah.
and the things that are important specifically to you, and the things that you make happen for you, because really the outside influence is right now pretty minimal.
Yeah. I mean, outside of the binge watching of television, if that's what you're doing, and a lot of people are, and I would actually encourage you, I'd encourage you to take some time off and pick up the books. This can be construed so many different ways. I had some like really faint hope the other day that there was only going to be 3 more weeks of this, and don't ask me why. It was probably some psychological twist that I needed. Um, but it birthed this new energy in me of, wait a minute, oh my gosh, if life goes back to normal in 3 weeks, there's so much I didn't do. I didn't complete that puzzle. I didn't read the 3 books that I've been, that I started. I still haven't finished my garden project. My garage is a mess. What the heck have I been doing? And it was actually a beautiful moment to go, okay, we can slip subconscious and unconscious in our busy lives, but we can also do that in our quiet lives, what we're doing right now. And all of my sessions, literally every single one, I'm guessing it's going to happen all this week, because I tend to have these weird kind of insights, and then it follows at work where it's like I got it to share it. And it's, do not let yourself give up right now. This isn't a time to give up. Get up and take a shower. Put your makeup on. Put on, you don't have to wear fancy clothes. Let it be comfortable, but make sure it's clean. Cook your meals. Don't, I'm slowly watching people just kind of give up. What's the
Yeah.
point? Who cares? And this will end. This is not permanent. It cannot be. And of course, things will be different after, and nobody knows how, and I wouldn't act like I did. But I know that if you had to go back to work in 3 weeks, because once they raise the order, you're doing what you're told, right? As most of us are. Did you get your yard done? Did you get your garage cleaned? Did you, go through your clothes and donate? Did you do the things that you have been waiting, that have been on your to-do list, that you needed to do, that you didn't have the time for? Did you do it? And maybe that's writing a book. And maybe that's picking up a craft. And maybe that's learning a new instrument or practicing a new language.
I'm going to be really good at fishing by the end of this.
Right? But you will leave this time because remember, hindsight is always 2020. And so as we're living it, it's really easy to kind of get into this kick your feet up.
Yeah.
But there is going to be a time in the future where you look back on this and you go, did I spend that time wisely?
And I think it's cool and timely that I was sent an app, and it's the app is called Routines by Care of. And the idea is you create a daily routine you want to try, and then record how those consistent actions make you feel, and then learn how sticking to that routine changes your mood, sleep, and stress over time. Because sometimes just sticking to something can help you feel a little more normal. So,
That's brilliant. I love that. Thank you for
right?
sharing. Yes.
Right? It's such a neat app, and I've found that I need to be gentle with myself because sometimes my morning routine can last till 2 p.m. these days. But getting it done is important, and it's it's little things like waking up and putting on something that isn't pajamas, brushing my hair, brushing my teeth, um, taking my vitamins, eating a good breakfast, little things like that. And and what's neat about this app is that and it's a free app, it allows you to pick your own activities as well. So you can, and it doesn't have to be, the basics. So there's a whole variety of recommendations for things that are proven to increase your energy, things that are to help stress, mood, focus, sleep, and you can build those into your routine regardless of whether you thought of them as something you could do or not. So I think it's pretty cool. Like this evening, I have spent time in nature, which I checked off because I've been getting 30 minutes to an hour of sun a day. Whether I want to or not, I spend at least that much time outside in some way, washing my hands, prepping a meal, brushing my teeth, taking a shower, skincare routine, call up a loved one, write in a journal, and meditate.
Mm.
And these are things
Mhm.
that I would not be doing if I were in the thick of it. I mean, it's a Tuesday right now. I'm pretty sure I would have found something to do, maybe a trivia night somewhere or some way to get out with my friends, but I can't. So I have to go out with myself.
Yeah. And I love that you shared that in all these different ways. And I feel like that stays on topic with alignment.
It does. It does.
So we're all trying to learn a new normal right now. And it's okay if you don't know what that is. And when I say people are giving up, I should clarify that. They're giving up their routine. They're giving up their entertainment. They're giving up kind of on their health and wellness. Not necessarily they're just giving up, but it's like this slow, gradual process of kind of like surrendering. And what this app does is, and what you're saying is basically, it's like, hey, what makes you feel good? Because you have to find a new normal. And maybe you used to have a gym, packed schedule, and then the gym was built in there, and then your social time, and it was all rewarding, and it felt really good. But you don't now. So how can you be in alignment with your day? And that's one tool to use.
Yep, exactly. And you start out in alignment with your day, and then you say, okay, I'm in alignment with my day. How can I build this into being in alignment with what I bring to my work?
Right.
And although my work may have changed or it may not have changed, how can I take this information I now know about myself? I know me personally, I found that I am happiest in my work when I'm on Zoom and I'm helping someone directly. Now, whether that's doing a documentation with through management consulting and helping people discover things about their businesses and putting that in a process format, or whether that's coaching them one on one on their careers, when I'm in that flow and I'm face to face with them, I am rocking it. It's when it's me, my computer screen, and dead silence that I get in my
Mhm.
head like crazy. So if there's something to do that requires me to figure something out and I'm not working with someone on that or having that interaction, I stall out. I
Yeah.
absolutely stall out. And it's, it's not like not having enough lift to an airplane. So there's, you can stall an airplane if you don't have enough lift, and down you go. Same thing with my alignment. When I get in misalignment, and I am forced into a, kind of a corner with myself, I really have to look at it and go, okay, just because you're not in front of someone on this now does not mean that you're not working toward a meeting that's happening tomorrow where you have to present this thing.
Right.
And then I can get out of my own way, because then it's
Mm-hmm.
not me just preparing something in a funnel and just, just letting it out into the ether with no gratification, no impact.
Yeah. I love that. And I think what I've been kind of noticing too is I've had a habit for years. I've been a counselor for, this will be my 11th year. I was doing the math today in September, in various types. I've worked in various situations, but every single day I go to work, before I enter the door, I will always say a prayer. And that's just my style. And I say, please work through me, God, universe, whatever there is, and let me be a vessel for change. And how may I be of service? And so starting with that humble attitude every single day of I know nothing, something works through me, something helps me out here to help somebody else. And how may I be of service? And sometimes I'm of service by making people laugh. Yeah, I'm a therapist. We laugh a lot. Sometimes life is just ironically funny. Sometimes we laugh. Sometimes I just hold space while they cry. Sometimes it's corrective behavior. Sometimes it's, CBT or behavioral therapy or things like that. But how can I be of service? And who do I need to serve? Who needs me today? And that's what I never get sick and I never call in sick. And that's one of the reasons, because I have this driving force in me that I need to be there, because I never know what's waiting. I never know what's waiting at the door, or who needed me that day, or what I would have missed. And you can still bring that sense of urgency and sense of purpose to what you're doing from home. And I don't really care what your job is. You have purpose. You matter. There's a reason you have that job. Somebody's counting on you to do that job. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's just putting food on the table. Maybe the job of the day is just being a really good stay-at-home parent trying to teach your kids school and
Bless
being
every
adaptable
parent.
there, right?
I'm wondering if Common Core is going to math is going to survive the
Oh
pandemic.
man, I'll tell you, it's been a ride, and now they've said that in Nevada there will be no more school for the rest of the school year. So this is the long haul. And
Right.
if we can really start gearing up for the long haul, but also have our to-do list, what do we want to accomplish? And then blending, really blending our old life with our new life. What are the things from my busy life that I want to keep? What are the things from my stagnant or slower life that I want to keep? And how can I blend them right now? We can still look forward to the weekends. We can still barbecue. We can still call people up. We can still listen to awesome music. But how can we blend the old with the new so
Yeah,
that we have joy, so we're happy?
I've definitely made it a point on Saturdays, even though I'm not driving hardly anywhere, and I'm getting like 2 months to the gallon right now. Uh, it's uh, it's a huge thing to me to get out of the house and just drive somewhere.
Mhm.
Just go on a little road trip. It doesn't matter if I'm going to Dayton, or if I'm going to North Reno, or wherever. Just go on a little drive. Just a little
Yeah.
little drive, roll down the windows, get some oxygen in my system, breathe, stay socially distanced. Maybe the last outing that I did is I actually I went to Sportsman's Warehouse, which is still open, and I walked around there and I geeked out over fishing stuff and tried to learn more about fishing stuff. And then on my way home, I ordered curbside takeout poke
Mm.
bowl. So I got some poke bowl, and then I got my curbside poke bowl, and I went home and I ate it on the patio.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that
And
was like my big day out. My big
that
day
was your
out
big day out.
my
Yeah.
big day out was preparing to have another day out,
Hmm.
and then getting some poke bowl. And
Yeah.
it was fantastic. And I think there is a kind of a gift in these simple pleasures, because it's it is that blending. It is that, you know what, I am going to take this from this time back into whatever the new default's going to
Yes.
be. I'm
Yes.
absolutely going to take these little simple pleasures
Mm.
with me, and at the same time, from kind of the world before, so to speak, I am taking my calendar with me, because my calendar is, it's kind of like it's my manager.
Hmm.
I have my, my heart says yes, but my calendar says no. I can still say that, because I will put things on my calendar like go fishing.
Right. And
Right?
even relationships are going to have a little bit of alignment, misalignment, and blending.
Right.
There are people you're going to get closer to during this time that you're like,
Absolutely.
where did you come from? Maybe that's a social media friend that you really have to meet after this. Or, maybe relationships you thought were really solid before have kind of faded. People have kind of gone their own different ways. And so it's all about this idea of what makes me feel good, what kind of closes my body off, and how can I marry the two worlds, the past and the future, but
Right.
really kind of like buckling for the long haul.
Exactly. And also on that note, boundaries as well, with what you're doing with other people, boundaries maybe that you've been afraid to set before. I know I've had to set a few of those boundaries, and they're terrifying to set. You need to set them, but it's also convenient. But when you're limited and it's not possible, you can actually look at it and go, okay, what's really, honestly, what's worth the risk?
Right.
I mean, what is worth the risk? What is, and evaluating a lot of things in your life by that, the risk of my energy, the risk of
Mhm.
my income, the risk of
Mhm.
my heart. What's worth the risk? It's not just a risk of getting sick,
Right.
but what is worth that risk that is going to take me out of alignment with my soul, with my purpose, with my peace, with my
Mhm.
harmony, as you put it,
Mhm.
and really, using this time as a diagnostic.
It really does feel like a pick and pull, like at the car lot. Like I
Yep.
want to pick this, I want to take that, and then leave the rest. But I
Yep.
think, as long if you were living anyway like I was living, it was so fast. And all of a sudden it was Monday, all of a sudden it was Friday, all of a sudden it was Monday, all of a sudden it was Friday. And now it's really so much about the pick and pull.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I like this. I'm going to keep this. And I do think that I'm going to incorporate a day of rest a week.
Yeah.
There will be no more running like this blurry weeks on end. Probably not as much rest either as I'm having right now, but definitely not as much busy as I had then.
Absolutely. Me too. Me too. Well, I hope you got a lot out of listening to this episode this morning. I know we've got a lot out of delivering it to you, and we're happy to be of service. This has been Business Therapy, healing businesses from the inside out through communication and emotional intelligence. I'm Diane Hansen, management consultant.
Christine Salvo, therapist, mediator, and hypnotherapist. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day.
Have a wonderful morning and an even better life.